Hello viewers, Jeremy here, JD605. First I'd like to say thank you to everybody for the comments and subscribing and watching. I didn't expect that many views to come my way, and just like to say thank you and helping me continue to do videos to help everybody else out. So what this video is going to be about is cell phones, in particular the service Rupublic Wireless. Not too many people are really still not knowing about Rupublic Wireless. They're a prepaid company and they offer cellular service, but the main thing that this company is trying to give education and attention to is using a phone through a Wi-Fi signal, which is what they call voice over IP. And that's their main goal, is to encourage people to use Wi-Fi signals, not just for data also, but for to use as your main line and your main source or your main medium to gain your calls and your text messaging. Now, well, I think it's a good concept. It's still a little years off from being implemented fully, and the reason I say that is because 90 to 95% of the Wi-Fi signals that are available that your phone can pick up are either password protected by things like WEP, WPA, WPA2, which is the encryptions that home wireless networks use to gain access to the network. So, you know, you're going to see the network name, but you're going to need a password depending on the encryption it's using. And as businesses also give, you can also find business signals also, but they use an authentication known as 802.1x, which is, it technically is an open source. You can gain access to the network to a certain extent, meaning that you can see the network, you can get on the network, but in order to get the signal to access the network, you need a username and password or some other type of credentials to access it. So in order to utilize Republic to its full potential, you need access to all these networks so you can constantly have a voice over IP signal to use. Now, if you're like me, and if you're paying for, well, currently right now I'm not paying for a signal because of the situation that we're in right now. But if you were like me and you were paying, and you still are paying for a internet service and you have Wi-Fi, you're not going to just give out your password to anybody. I mean, you're not going to give away something for free like that to clog up your network. But you do have places like McDonald's. If you're munching on something, you got if you want a coffee, you can go to Starbucks. They have a Wi-Fi signal. And even shopping now, I mean, you can go to Target and you can get an open Wi-Fi signal. But then that's limited space. I mean, in between you're driving to the store to get that signal, or going to get something to eat or coffee, and everything in between, you're not going to realistically get a Wi-Fi signal to have a good reception to get calls and text messages. Now, Republic does offer the cell service. They have different they have different cell and Wi-Fi plans. They have 4 different plans. The first one is the $5, which is strictly using your phone on the Wi-Fi networks. The $10 plan is strictly Wi-Fi and cell, but there's no cellular data. So you can get a cell signal and a Wi-Fi signal for $10. $25 will get you the Wi-Fi and cell voice and text, but you'll get an additional 5 gigabytes of cellular data to use. You can have unlimited data, but you get what the IT world hates, which is throttling. It is a bad word. It is a profane word, and people like me don't like it, who don't like throttling. It makes no sense. But then they have the $40 plan, which is for phones like the Moto X, because I have the Moto G. Moto X has the 4G signal, so for 4G you're going to get the $40 plan. And now all of this is not a flat rate. It does not include the tax for your particular state. That was one of my beefs with this, was that I originally got the $25 plan, and I got slapped with $12 and change in taxes. So I was paying $37 and change in tax. Crazy. That, I mean, yeah, I'm in New York now, but come on, $12 in tax. I'm paying the same thing I was when I was with my previous carrier, who was Cricket. I'll get into that in a second. But I'm now on the $10 plan, and it's $2 and change in tax. So I'm only paying 12 and change, so that's good. But now I have no cellular data, or the only time I will get data is on Wi-Fi. In my current situation, I do not have a Wi-Fi signal at home, so I'm pretty much screwed as far as getting data unless I'm going to my public library a few blocks away, or I just so happen to get a drink from McDonald's or something like that. But other than that, yeah, that's bad. But as far as the phone is concerned, got the Moto G, and it's a good phone. It's Android. Come on, it's Android. It's Android. All right, that's the phone. Yeah, that's my dog, Chewbacca. Yes, he's a Wookiee, and I love him. It's my dog. When I got this phone, it's running. It was running KitKat 4.2. It is now 4.4 because I got the upgrade about last Thursday or Friday, and I downloaded it. So now it's on 4.2. I mean 4.4. When I had it under 4.2, it ran pretty smoothly. The apps worked pretty flawless. Really wasn't really glitchy or buggy. But since I put 4.4, it has been a pretty big amount of bugginess to it, and it lags a bit. Some of my apps crash a lot. If I'm watching a video on Facebook and it doesn't load properly, it get that lag and it says it's not responding. Do you want to wait? Do you want to continue? Do you want to close it? And all that other stuff. But it's probably due to it, being the upgrade. You got to get the bug fixes, report it to Google, and they can fix it. But as far as the phone functioning, this is a pretty good piece of hardware. The camera, the main camera is 5 megapixel. You can take HD video with it. 720p is the highest you can go. The forward-facing camera is only 1 megapixel with picture, and 0.9 megapixel when you're running video, like if you want to run a video record video through this camera, or if you're doing like Skype. But it's still a pretty good picture. The only beast I have with this phone is a few things. The first is the battery. It's an embedded battery. I can't take this battery out. That's bad. And the reason I say that is because I have apps like this one. Oh, excuse me. Because I have apps like this one, which is the flashlight. And if you're running apps that take a lot of processing power, like Candy Crush or any other high-powered game and stuff like that, it tends to make the battery run really hot, especially my flashlight app. And the light on this is really bright. It's really good flash. But it runs really, really hot. And I'm not able to pull my battery out so the battery itself can cool off, and it gives the time for the device itself to cool off, because it's going to be a while before that battery cools off. The device can cool off a little faster than the battery can. And the reason that's bad is because if it can get hot enough, it can leak onto your phone, which would damage your device, or it can even explode, which is not good. Not good at all. And to not be able to take my battery out so it can cool off with things like that, it's deal breaker. And the other issue, the other deal breaker for me, that is for me, not for everybody, is there's no SD card expansion slot. So I got the 8 gigabyte version because that's where I'm trying to cut my expenses with the move and all, trying to get ourselves together. Got the 8 gigabyte version, and they do have 16 gigabyte, but the 8 gigabyte version, that's what I got. And as always, when it says that you have a certain amount of capacity available to you, it's not really the 8 gigs. I've probably got maybe like 6.5 gigs available to me due to the space for the operating system, Republic's programming and apps that you come with it, as well as Motorola, because it's a Motorola phone. They have different apps for utilities and other different things. But I only have 6 to 6.5 gigabytes for me, to put my music, my videos, books that I need, and other such things, like then for apps that I want to use, like games or utilities that I need to use for my job or anything like that. And that's not a lot of space. Granted, I can use my Google Drive to store the stuff that I want, and when I need it, I can download onto it, but I can't download everything. If I need something, that means I'm gonna have to delete something off for it to make the space. No, and that's my fault because I didn't check to see that when I bought the phone, when I was looking at the specifications and to see if it had an SD card slot, so that's my bad on me. But still, the other issue I have, again with the Republic's pushing the Wi-Fi onto the public to get them to realize that Wi-Fi can be used as a signal, but it's things like this. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but this message right here, it says Wi-Fi settings updated. Republic enabled the Wi-Fi radio. You're like, okay, why did it enable it? Well, one culprit to a battery life, or having enough battery life in your phone, is the Wi-Fi radio, keeping it on. And if you keep it on, that means that your Wi-Fi radio is trying to is throwing out these packets, what they call beacon packets. And beacon packets send signals around to try to identify if you have an access point near you. And when you do, those access points send the signal back to your Wi-Fi radio saying, hey, yeah, we're here, this is our network, this is what we're using. As long as you got the password, you can come in. And like I said, 95 to 95% of the networks that you're going to run into, you're not going to have that information. So your Wi-Fi radio is doing this all day long if you don't turn it off, and it drains your battery power. So what I like to do is to turn it off. If I'm not going to be using Wi-Fi, especially if I don't know the information, why have it on? Let me save my battery. I need battery life to make emergency phone calls if I need to make an emergency phone call, or if I need to make a quick text, as it's a quicker means of communication to let somebody know something's going on. I have that battery life. But with Republic's programming of the phones, they have permission to re-enable the Wi-Fi radio back to on so that you can use a Wi-Fi signal instead of your cell signal. If I'm paying for cell service and I'm turning off my Wi-Fi, why are you turning on my Wi-Fi for me and so I can't use my cell service? What's the point of paying for cell service if you don't want me to use it? And that can, that pushiness is a little turn off. So that's three big things that I saw while using this phone: is the battery not being able to come out, the no SD card expansion, and my phone thinking on its own. That's crazy. But yeah, I have probably like 30 pictures in my phone, or screenshots of it saying that it re-enabled itself, and I don't like that at all. I don't like that. That's no. I want to be in control of what I want to use, especially if I'm paying for it. It'd be a different story if I was paying the $5 Wi-Fi only access and I turned it off for some reason, and I'm wondering why I ain't got no signal. And oh yeah, thank you, it enabled it. That I can see. But if I'm paying for a cell plan, don't turn on my Wi-Fi for me and kill my battery, because that's ridiculous. I want to be in control of what I can use and what I cannot use. And the reason I'm bringing that up too is because I've had they use Sprint signals for the cell signal. And that's one of the downgrades that I'm thinking about changing to, is because I think Sprint is the worst of the four major networks out of between them, T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. And to me, the other three are way better than Sprint. And the reason I say that is because actually a couple of weeks ago, my brother had to go to the hospital, and because one of his ulcers had gotten bad, and he started to cough up blood, and to the point where they had to give him 2 bags of blood to save his life. And And my mom was trying to call me to let me know what was going on because she was over in Florida and he's here in New York with me. And my signal did not go through. It said I had a cell signal. I had no Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi radio was on. I left it on because I had it on the charger, so it wasn't going to make a difference on the battery life. But my phone call never went through, so she had to call my wife to let me know. My wife still has Cricket. Well, right now she's with Metro PCS. I just changed it. I'll get into that in a second. But she couldn't get through to me. So she's like, call your mom. I'm trying to call my mom, and a busy signal goes through. What? Are you kidding me? A cell phone getting busy signal? How is it that my wife was just able to call her on her line, and I can't get through to yours? I mean, really? I mean, Republic should think about switching the carrier line to see if they can get a better deal with another carrier. But I mean, that really got to me because I was really pissed off because, I mean, I almost lost my brother, and I probably would have never known if it wasn't for my wife's line. That's not to say that bad about Republic, because I have no beef with Republic service. I think they were quite pleasant. I've chatted with them on their chat line on Rupublic Wireless.com. I've chatted with them on Facebook, either through messaging or through the comments. I've never personally had any beef with them. I think they're pleasant. It's just, you know, they got it's a new thing that they're trying to implement, and it's a lot to take into consideration. But the phone is good. If you're not a data person like me who needs an expansion slide or doesn't really care much about space, they just want space enough for their games and apps and stuff, this is a good phone, cheap method. Because I mean, they got the Moto G for $99, but if I'm not mistaken, it's 4 gigabytes of space. I could be mistaken. Mention in the comments if I'm wrong or not. But this is only $30 more, and it's a really, really good phone. But because of the not being able to take the battery out and embed a battery, I wouldn't recommend. I would say pay the extra money to get the Moto X because it has an extra expansion slot, and the battery can be taken out from what I know. Could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't messed with it yet. But anyway, that's my little review of the device. I would recommend Rupublic Wireless for those who are not data hungry like me, like I keep saying. My field demands a lot of data, and I love for communication and such. But if you're not like me, you can get the $10 plan, have a phone number, be able to use the cell. I mean, not a great cell service, but it's a cell service nonetheless, and it's only $10 plus tax, whatever tax it is that you pay from whatever state. It could be $11, could be $15. I don't know. For me, it's 12 and change in New York. But that is an awesome price to be able to have a cell service, to have unlimited talk and text, to communicate. That's big, and I would highly recommend Rupublic Wireless. The only beef that I have is that it's a little pushy on the Wi-Fi. Like if you're paying for a cell service, you should be able to turn off your Wi-Fi whenever you want to utilize the cell service that you're paying for without having to, because what it is bumping heads. It's constantly looking for a Wi-Fi signal. And if it does recognize a Wi-Fi signal you've been around, you have to wait for it to authenticate itself before you can make a phone call or a text. And if it's in the middle of authenticating itself, it confuses itself with the cell signal, with not being such a great cell signal in the first place. So you're going to have some kind of bump in the head as far as communicating, trying to get a phone call or a text out. But again, if you're a senior, if you're a person who's not data hungry, if you're looking for an alternate option for your child to have a smartphone, so this way you can be able to track them and have because that's one of the main reasons that I was reading on Rupublic Wireless' website that they were trying to make it more affordable for families to have multiple phones in the family. So not only they can communicate with one another through talk and text, but they'll be able to track each other using GPS or security apps that track your cell phones and stuff like that. So I would recommend Republic Wireless for that. But me, I don't think I'm going to be personally keeping it. Like I said, I just switched my wife. She went from Cricket to Metro PCS. Metro PCS is now offering the $50 unlimited talk, text, and data. I got her the Galaxy Avant. The Avant is a really good phone. Offers 16 gigabytes of storage, and does have a SD card slot. And it's 4G LTE speeds, which is the latest in the speed technology. And it's unlimited, so she has 4G LTE the whole month with, you know, no throttling or anything like that. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it with the Republic Wireless. Like I said before, I had Republic, I had Cricket, and Cricket was supposed to be $35 a month after auto pay. So it was really $40 a month. But with them, it's a flat rate. But the beef I had is like, I only got the $5 credit at the end of my bill cycle. Like, why give me credit for it? If I have auto pay, you should automatically be like, oh, it's $35. Just take $35 out. I shouldn't have to wait for a bill credit. And when they got, because before it was Cricket, was AO. I had AO. Now, Cricket was the one who bought out AO. But I had AO, and the network was awesome. They used AT&T lines. AT&T is a reliable network. But when Cricket bought them out, of course, if you don't understand the way how cell and Wi-Fi signals work, the more you have on the network, the less space there is or bandwidth for people to get their data. And a good example of that is like a pizza pie. Normally a pizza is sliced into 8 slices. You can do 8 servings, or if there's less people, they get more pieces of the pie. And the same works for Wi-Fi and cellular data signals. The more people that are on there, the less piece of the pie they have to themselves. So when Cricket bought out AO, when they came on, they congested the network and it got really slow. And this happened before I left Florida. So, I mean, when I got to New York, you know, New York is more heavily populated than where I was in Florida. So, of course, there's going to be more people on the network. So it went from slow to like ultra slow, like 56K slow, like stuff I haven't messed with in 20 years slow. And that, no bueno, no good at all. So that's why I was like, let me find a cheaper service who's going to offer me, you know, something that I need. And I tried Republic out. Republic is good, but not from my personal needs. Now, most people are not like me who is data hungry, and I'm not even streaming Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, or any other streaming service. I'm just strictly going based on, you know, emails, conferencing, doing things like LinkedIn and other stuff like that. And when I browse the internet, I don't like browsing mobile site versions. I like desktop versions. So it's a lot more data involved in that. But like I said, I highly recommend for people who are not data hungry, seniors who are looking for access for a cheap rate, you know, on limited income, anybody who's on a limited income. The only thing is that Republic makes their money like any other prepaid service on their phone, so that's why you have to pay full price for the phone. But if you have enough money to get the phone, and you don't have to worry about that, because then you can get a $10 plan and just pay for Wi-Fi service and for cell service. So that's my review on Republic. Thanks again, viewers, for watching. Thank you for subscribing. For new viewers, please subscribe. I got more videos coming up that I plan. A lot of it is probably going to be like a Let's Play series through playing my game, because I just got the Avameter Live Game Portable device, which is this bad boy here, and I made a video to on my unboxing of it to show the different things that are in there. So I'm going to be streaming a lot of games because I'm going to have a lot of time. Because the job I have is pretty much the weekend job, and I'm at home And I figured, hey, let me make some videos to entertain some people and also make some money on it, because you can make some money off YouTube. Extra income is always good. So thanks again for viewing. Thanks for subscribing. Keep subscribing. As I get my situation more gathered together here in New York, I should have more time to make more videos. Now that I got my job flow going, I'm going to be getting some more devices to test out, to give my reviews on them, and tutorials, because in the last video I made about the HP Stream 7, people were like, oh, but it's not a tutorial. It means you... My trollers, my fellow trollers. Yeah, it's okay to troll. I have no problem with trollers. As long as it's all in good fun and nobody's making anything personal or being vulgar or profane about it. But keep looking to the channel. I'm going to be putting some more stuff up, and hopefully I'll be having some videos running on a regular basis. And let me know in the comments also if you hear me better than the last video, because I also bought a new microphone to better travel the sound. The quality on this video is coming from my HP Stream 7's front camera. It's not as good as the quality as my Surface RT, which is what I use for the HP Stream 7. I mean, yeah, for the HP Stream 7 video. Let me know how the quality looks. I made a couple of my other videos on the Moto G, and it's 720p, so I'm pretty sure they're going to come out good. So let me know in the comments the video quality, sound quality. This way I'll know to better serve the viewers on my videos later on down the line. And thanks for watching. Everybody take care of themselves, stay safe, and continue to tune in. And talk to y'all later.